Good morning. This week's Coffee with Paul, we're going to talk about a few short things that citizens should be aware of. Number one, the new resolution the council passed May 4th for the incremental reopening of Brookings. Now, this doesn't affect city county building. We do anticipate that opening potentially mid-May, and from now until that point in time, we're going to be preparing our staff and our offices to open to the public incrementally. But with that said, businesses in the community that were originally under the existing ordinance that includes bars, restaurants, bowling alleys, theaters, and gyms now can reopen incrementally at 50% capacity. Employees do have to wear masks, and there are other measures that have been put in place into the resolution to not only protect patrons that are going into these businesses, but also employees as well. People can find out more on our COVID tab on our website. Not only businesses can calculate their per square footage and capacity of the businesses, which is 50% capacity, but citizens can find out how these businesses will operate. Included in those businesses are salons in which they will operate wearing masks, and we encourage people to book appointments in advance to ensure that we are social distancing as people wait. We'd like to remind citizens here in Brookings that we do have the west side of the city-county building open for elections, for absentee ballots. Encourage people to go out there early if you can, vote, or go ahead and wait for the election day, which is June 23rd. We've had a lot of questions about summer programming for the park system within our recreational programming. We would like citizens to know that we are still calculating what programs will open, what programs will potentially be a little later this summer, based on CDC guidelines, Park Association, national recommendations, and what we're seeing across the state and our peer communities. Our Parks Department is constantly talking to parks professionals across the state and across the nation to ensure that whatever program we do unveil this year will be safe for our participants. Note that we will be working with different associations from the softball, baseball, fast pitch, to come up with plans so that we can incrementally introduce some of those programs to people in a safe manner. So watch for that, more to come. Within the pool, we are still waiting for Red Cross regulations to work with CDC for training of our lifeguards to potentially open up that pool. That decision will be made here in the next few weeks, and we'll announce any changes via our social media and press releases on our webpage. As we unveil our new incremental opening phase for the community of Brookings, we ask citizens to continue their efforts in social distancing, good hygiene, and continue to wear masks if at all possible, especially when you're going to be within proximity of less than 6 feet or within 6 feet of people throughout the community. We encourage people to wear them while they're shopping, while they're engaging in some of those opportunities where there's going to be greater mass of people out there in the public. Together as the community of Brookings, our residents have done a tremendous job in flattening the curve and reducing the spread here in our community. What we ask residents to do is to continue those efforts so that we can see potentially the next incremental step in our rules and regulations that affect our businesses and our residents. So once again, do your part, continue to do great things in this community, and continue that social distancing and good hygiene.